Okay, so it's my understanding that the Energy Ministers meeting, it was less than a month ago. This idea was discussed with the Energy Market Regulator and the chair of that body, Clare Savage, and the idea of price caps was raised on gas and coal. Did you ask when the last time, in terms of a timeline, to impose price caps was? So it needed to be done, as I understand it, sooner rather than later, a couple of weeks ago. And her answer to you was that really the last time that it can be done, that price caps need to be imposed, is the 1st of December, which is tomorrow.
Well, Clare Savage, who's the head of the Australian Energy Regulator, which is the body that determines the default market offer, which is the base price that will flow through to electricity consumers, made it very clear that without action before the 1st of December, it's very likely that high electricity prices would be baked into the system for the next 12 months. So the reality is we're running out of time if we're going to be using price caps to dampen electricity prices over the next 12 months. That was made very clear by Clare Savage and the Australian Energy Regulator. Right. I want to see whatever it takes, whether it be a Commonwealth solution or working in conjunction with the states to ensure we get downward pressure on electricity prices. These prices are being driven up by the illegal war in Ukraine. That's the fact. It's not about renewables. It's not about anything other than an illegal war that is pushing supply of gas and coal into Europe because of shortages coming out of Russia. That's what's driving up wholesale electricity prices here in Australia. And today, coal and gas is being purchased at spot prices that are at the international rate. The coal price has gone from about $100 a tonne to about $600 a tonne today. Gas has increased exponentially as well. That's feeding through to wholesale electricity prices. And if you want to use price caps as a mechanism, you're running out of time because the coal-fired generators and the gas generators are already buying coal and gas at the high international spot price. So you need to move, and you need to move very quickly. And that's not what we've seen. For 2 months, we haven't seen solutions, we've seen excuses.
And she told all the energy ministers at that meeting that essentially time is running out. Even if the federal government, working with you in New South Wales and the states on the East Coast, do come up with a solution and you agree on caps on coal and gas, are you saying consumers won't see any cost savings for another 12 months?
Well, what I'm saying is that the Australian Energy Regulator made it very clear that if you're going to use price caps, and price caps are only one of the tools that the Commonwealth Government could use to dampen electricity prices, then you need to move very quickly. That's not what we've seen happening. 2 months ago, the Albanese government said that they would solve this problem, and here we are today with not a solution, just an excuse.
Well, have you spoken to Chris Bowen about this?
Well, I regularly engage with Chris Bowen. I know this is a complex issue and he is doing a very difficult job. We're working closely with him. We've got legal advice, though, that says the Commonwealth Government is able to put a price cap on coal as well as gas. The same powers they use to price cap gas can be used to price cap coal. And that will sort the issue for Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia and Tasmania. We need a national solution because this is a national problem.
And do you think that is the best solution, caps on prices? Because you don't seem particularly swayed with it this morning, I've got to say. So what are the other tools that you could use here to bring down electricity prices? Would you be looking at, would you be supportive of some kind of super profits tax? Would you like to see direct subsidies? Because you've done that in New South Wales.
Well, we have done direct subsidies in New South Wales. We have, in the recent budget that I handed down, $7.2 billion worth of cost of living relief for families and businesses across New South Wales. Now, Laura, let me put that into context. We put $7.2 billion aside to support families with things like electricity bill cost and also cost of living relief. The Commonwealth only put around $7 billion in cost of living relief in their budget for the whole of the nation. So that just shows where the priorities are when it comes to supporting people with these cost of living pressures. We've done the right thing by our community here in New South Wales. We recognise that working with the Commonwealth, we could do so much more, and that's what we're asking for today, for the Commonwealth to work with all the states and territories to come up with a national solution to what is a national problem.
And just quickly, I got a leaked document yesterday that talks about coal closure in the Hunter Valley area, what it will cost in terms of jobs. It's more than 500 direct jobs, 260 indirect, $33 million stripped out of the region. We haven't seen the whole report. Have you seen it? Would you be concerned about that detail?
Well, of course I'd be concerned about that detail. We don't want to see any jobs lost here in New South Wales. But let me just say this, not having seen the report. The best way to replace lost jobs is to create new industries, new jobs,
this
new
report says
opportunities and a growing economy.
And that's what we're focused on here in New South Wales, that AGL
Laura.
battery, and that this doesn't, the government's own figures and own report does not back up what you're saying. They say 100 jobs will be created in the construction phase of the AGL grid battery. It's not like for like.
Laura, no one is seriously saying that that project alone is going to replace those jobs, and that is very misleading to your viewers. What we're saying is we need to be creating new industries around green hydrogen, for example. That's a huge opportunity and a huge export market that we know is opening up. And there are opportunities in the Hunter that will create thousands of jobs, drive billions of dollars worth of investment and underwrite a new era of prosperity. That's just one area. There are so many opportunities, and government needs to be focusing on industry policy that will create new jobs and opportunities in those regions that are exposed to challenges in changing markets.